What's up, guys? It's Dave. Today is December 30th. Happy almost New Year's. And this is our team call for this week. I'm filming this, instead of doing a Zoom call, I'm filming this with my GoPro so you guys can really see this board. This is the second in a series where we're talking about marketing for the 21-Day Fix Extreme, but we're really talking about marketing in a much broader sense. So this works regardless of what we're talking about, okay? So whether we're marketing for the 21-Day Fix Extreme or you just want to set up a free clean eating group, you can use this model, okay, to set up all of your marketing. We're talking specifically about the 21-Day Fix Extreme. So the first call was December 9th. So if you can't remember that date, I've written it down there for you. Hopefully you can see that on the screen. December 9th was the date of the first call I did, and I went through this board and really built out a pre-launch for this product, which is coming out February 2nd of next year. So this 8 to 6 weeks out is when we start this pre-launch scenario. We're gonna start the next phase, which is the pre-launch, about 10 days before it comes out. And I'll probably go through a little bit of that at the end, because I really kind of covered most of this stuff. I mainly was just keeping this up here so that we have a frame of reference. I'm gonna go back through it really quickly for your review. So let's see here, where do I want to start with this? I guess I'm going to start with just a discussion of branding really quickly. I think this is kind of an interesting little aspect of our business, and I was talking with Lisa Yoon, who's one of my Diamond coaches, earlier today about branding, and I think there are some teams in Beachbody that tell you what the brand is going to be. So they say, look, this is our brand, this is who we are, and that's who you need to be, okay? And I think there's some merit to that. I'm not sort of, saying that's a bad thing. I think, a lot of those teams have great cultures that they've created, and everybody fits in because they all sort of have the same or a similar brand. And then they're able to sort of maybe have a little bit of, individuality within there, but, you kind of see who they are. They all look alike. What we do is different than that. It's very different than that. And what we do is we really tell you, hey, listen, we recognize the importance of brand, okay? I mean, branding is just essential if you're gonna be successful with marketing. But I don't wanna make you follow my brand. You're not me, you're you. And you need to be an individual, and you need to figure out the things about you that could help other people, okay? So just to give you kind of an example, if you follow my stuff, I think my brand is really obvious, right? I'm kind of, the guy who is really, really active. That's, if I was generalized, most people see my stuff, they're like, oh wow, surfing, skiing, super active guy, always outside, doing stuff outside that requires me to be in pretty good shape. Not, a six-pack Shaun T abs guy, but I have to be in pretty good shape in order to do the things that I really like doing. And so that's my why. That's what keeps me grounded, keeps me into fitness. I always go back to that, always. The last month and a half or so, I've been training for ski season. So as I'm doing my workouts, actually using ski poles, and what do? I put them in the pictures that I take and stuff, because that's part of my brand. That's gonna be really tough for you if that's not your brand, okay? What you need to do is you need to be focused on your brand. We've talked before about this customer avatar exercise, and if you don't have any idea what I'm talking about when I talk about the customer avatar exercise, go into the Fit Club Network Coaches group and post a question, where can I find the link to the customer avatar? What you'll do is you'll go through and you will lay out who your ideal customer is. And believe me, when you do that, your brand becomes very, very obvious. I'm marketing to people like me, okay? They're like me. Some of them or they're like I used to be is another way to put it. Part of my brand is that I left sort of corporate America and my law practice behind in order to own my own business, partially so I could have the time to do the things I wanted to do when I wanted to do them. That's a big part of my brand, so I don't leave that out. I include that. Once again, if that's not your story, it's gonna be pretty tough for you to do what I'm doing exactly. But it doesn't mean that you can't take some time and brand yourself, okay? And just go through that customer exercise and figure out who your ideal person is. Once you figure out who your ideal customer is, it's so easy to think about what can I create for them that will add value to their whole experience. And that's a lot of what we're gonna do here with this pre-launch is just adding value to people's experience, giving stuff away for free in order to take advantage of some of these mental triggers. So let's just talk really quickly about the pre-launch And then I'm probably gonna just preview what the pre-launch will be, because we're not gonna get there until probably January 21st, 22nd, somewhere in there. It's about 10 days before the release date. And so, we need to I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, because now is the time to do this. And then I'm going to talk to you about what I'm doing, because when I filmed this call on the 9th, I really didn't know what I was going to do for the 21-day fix. I'm sorry, I need to grab some water here. I've had kind of a gnarly cold. I don't know what I was going to do for the 21-day fix. So I didn't talk really specifically about what it was going to be, but after going through this exercise, it popped into my head, and I was like, oh, I got it. I got what my pre-launch is going to be for the 21-day fix extreme. It's going to be awesome. I'll talk to you about that in a minute, but let's talk about what we're doing. Obviously, our objectives here are in 8 weeks. Now it's not 8 weeks anymore, so we can scratch that. It was 8 weeks whenever we filmed that. So however many weeks we've got until the launch comes out on the 2nd. This time period, our objective ultimately at the launch is 21-day fix challenge packs. Okay, now maybe 21-day fix extreme. Look, I should have an X there. How lazy. Challenge packs. What are we doing now? Okay, it's not for sale yet, but that doesn't mean you can't market it, and in the process create a tremendous amount of back and forth and trust with people. What are we doing now? Now we're just trying to create interest. Okay, going back to that last call. This is what we're doing right now, okay? I'm gonna tell you how I'm doing it, and I don't want you to do what I'm doing because you're not me. But we're trying to create interest, right? So, we haven't really identified this offer yet. I have been doing very little talking actually directly about the 21-day fix extreme. What I have been talking about is 21-day fix. I'm trying to generate interest right now in the 21-day fix as a solution. And I'll talk to you about how I'm kind of gonna position X in a little bit. But this is a huge one of what you're trying to do right now. Identifying objections, okay? This is major, major, major right now. So just to give you an example, one of the things I did earlier was sort of ask on my Facebook page, hey, what are your concerns about the 21-day fix? Because that's what I'm trying to create some interest in now is the 21-day fix. What that's doing is drawing out potential objections that people might have about the 21-day fix extreme. Telling a story. Okay, that's part of this whole thing. Gathering testimonials. This is a major one, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Building some buzz, warming up your warm list, which is basically the people who are already listening to you. How do you get them excited about it? One of the big things we do in our business that will happen for you over time, you might not be seeing this yet if you're relatively new, but at some point you just build a huge customer base, right? Monica's been doing this for 7 years. I've been doing it, or almost 8. I've been doing it for 5 or 6, depending on what, and we have thousands of customers, literally thousands of customers. Every time a new product comes out, people buy it. My thing is, how do I get more of them to buy it? That's what all this is about. In some respects, I also want to generate new customers for sure, but I really want to warm up my warm list. It's a huge part of the pre-release. Identifying your audience and identifying your marketplace, I think, are important. And I talked about those on the call. So let me now walk you through what I have decided I'm going to do and how I'm going to market this 21-day fix extreme during my pre-launch. After I filmed the last call, after I filmed the last call, I started to think of, okay, well, why wouldn't I do the 21-day fix, right? And I was like, well, is it the workouts? No, not really. I mean, the workouts are not my favorite workouts, I'll be honest. I am actually really looking forward to the 21-day fix extreme. A little bit harder. I hope there's some more weight training. I really like lifting weights, and that's kind of the one thing about the workouts that I'm not a huge fan of. But it's 21 days of workouts. They're half an hour. It's not the workouts. It's not Autumn. Autumn's really cool. Actually, I got a chance to meet her at our Diamond Retreat. She's awesome. And she's certainly attractive enough to make that half an hour go by quickly. So that's not the problem, okay? It's the containers. So I thought to myself, look, why am I so resistant to the containers, right? And I think there's a number of reasons. I think what it boils down to for me is that I have kind of a type A controller personality where I don't like being told what to do. It's one of the reasons I'm a good Beachbody coach, is because I don't like being told what to do. I like telling myself what to do. And this is a job where you get to do that. I'm my own boss. No one tells me when to come down here and punch a clock and go to work. It's, I don't know, it's like 5:30 at night or something like that. And this is when I have time to do it. So my kids at water polo. This is when I'm working. That's my whole personality. And I think the containers are a little restrictive. Sometimes I'm gonna want more food, and you know, I'm a little resistant to the containers. That's what it really is when it boils down to the 21-day fix. So I created a disease. And the disease is container phobia. I just created this out of nowhere, and I created this little pre-launch scenario where I have container phobia. And so what I've been doing on my Facebook page and my YouTube channel and, you know, pretty much everywhere else that I market to people is saying, you know, what do you think about this? Is I'll do the workouts, right? And then I'll post something. Today I posted a video of me doing Dirty 30, like the entire Dirty 30 thing, but I put it on like a massive speed up. So it's like, it's like 3 minutes of actual workout of 30 minutes. So it just goes, it's really kind of funny actually. But I'll do like a workout, and then I'll post something, maybe an image, maybe a video, just depends. And I'll ask questions, and focused on guys as well, right? I'm focused on guys. I'll tell you why in a second. But I target guys and I say, what do you guys think about this 21-day fix? Have you ever done the program? What do you think about it? Is it hard enough? What about these dumb containers? You know, whatever I'm posting is sort of going and asking people to tell me what their concerns or objections are. So I'm identifying objections with this whole container phobia thing. One of the big ones I'm finding from guys is the containers. Duh, that's my objection. Why wouldn't it be theirs? But I didn't really think about it before then, okay? So that's why I'm kind of targeting guys, is because I noticed they're particularly resistant to the containers, okay? So I'm trying to address this container phobia thing, all right? So I'm creating a disease, and then I'm gonna cure it. And all these people who are listening to me are going, that'll erase their objection. And if I can get to their objection now, when it comes time, when the shop opens up on the 2nd, that's gone. I don't have to worry about, you know, people wait, well, maybe I'll wait and see if everybody gets it and what are these dumb containers all about. I'll have dealt with it or not. You'll either have resolved that you're gonna get over the container phobia or you won't. Notice just psychologically how I'm creating an enemy here that I'm then gonna give you the solution to. So the enemy is container phobia, not the containers. The enemy is the lack of containers, okay? That's just what's going on here. I'm creating this psychological enemy, and then I'm gonna fix it. What has happened as a result of container phobia? The most hilarious thing that I never really saw coming is, oh man, my voice is bad. People are trying to convince me to do the 21-day fix. That is what is happening right now, is people are trying to convince me to do the 21-day fix. A lot of them are coaches. That's fine, because all these other people out here, my warm list, my audience, all these other people, they see all that. They see it all. So what happens is I post this thing going, I don't know, these stupid containers, and what's happening is people are trying to convince me to go do the workouts. I mean, I couldn't have come up with anything better if I had really thought about it, and I didn't think that would happen. That was just kind of a really nice little side benefit of every time I post something, people are trying to convince me to go do the workout. I mean, that's pretty much ideal. That may not work for you, okay? I think, you know, again, go back to branding. Don't copy what I'm doing. This is not a copy Dave. It's a use the system. You know your customer avatar. My customer avatar has container phobia because it's me. And I have container phobia, so I know these guys have container phobia, okay? Now, the reason I'm targeting guys is because I think women are just generally really excited about this program. They've had great results with the 21-day fix, and a lot of them are really tied into what's going on with Monica already. Okay, and so Monica's got her own marketing that she does as part of the 21-day fix, and it should be an easy conversion for those people. I'm really trying to get guys into it so that I can have, and as for a purely selfish reason, so I have a support system when I go through and do the 21-day fix extreme. How am I gonna fix container phobia? It's really easy. I'm just gonna do the 21-day fix. Oh, I'm gonna mute that. Sorry, computer's beeping at me, that stupid Facebook notice thing. I'm gonna do the 21-day fix. I haven't planned exactly when, but it'll end. Sorry, thought I had that muted. It'll end about a week after the release date so that I can, everybody can get it, and then I can just start. I can do the fix and then extreme back to back, basically, is what I'll do. So I need to think about that a little bit more, but I do suggest as part of your pre-launch that you do a 21-day fix group. If you want to market this program, if we're marketing, for example, a lot of people with the Max 30 release, the Insanity Max 30 release, they organized Insanity groups leading up to it. That's really smart pre-marketing. Super, super smart pre-marketing. Jen Thatcher and Nikki Kozlowski did that in a great way. They did this Fit by 40 thing where, they sort of showed themselves going through that. And that was all of this. That's exactly what they did. And I didn't need to tell them to do it. They just instinctively knew. If we can get people through Insanity, and we've identified our offer as Max 30, they were real clear that this is what we're leading up to. Probably identified a lot of objections. They had an awesome story to tell. Awesome story to tell. During that process, they gathered testimonials. This is another one that I'm kind of working on. I'm having trouble linking it there, okay? So that's why I keep reaching out for guys as well. And what's happening is awesome, is that coaches are actually posting pictures of their success stories on my page, gathering testimonials for me. I mean, I really couldn't have planned this better had I given it more thought than I did. Again, going back to the Insanity release, building buzz around it by doing the program, getting people to do the program, that creates some excitement, some buzz. A lot of those people maybe hadn't done Insanity for quite a while, and you pick it up again, and then you kind of realize, I've done this a lot, I want the new one, I want the new one, I want the new one. Again, warming up your warm list, your customers are your warm list, and all those people were in their group. So that whole thing worked for them brilliantly, and they had some great successes. I talked a lot about these mental triggers on the last call. I don't want to go into it a whole lot other than just for you to realize that this is really one of the key ones. So I want to talk just a little bit about reciprocity. Reciprocity is this idea that you're giving something away. Okay, when you do that, it naturally builds trust with people. Okay, one of the things I was talking about with Lisa Yoon, and that's trust is related to that. But here's one of the things you can do if you do this process correctly. Okay, I was talking with Lisa earlier as well. Is that there are 4 reasons people are not buying your product. So these are the 4 reasons why someone is not buying from you. The first one is they have no interest in your product. Okay, and so in Jeff Walker's book, he talks about how maybe you've created the greatest wheelchair ever invented. All right, I'm gonna get my notes, don't butcher it. Maybe you've created the greatest wheelchair ever invented, but if I don't need a wheelchair, I don't need your product, and I have 0 interest. There are a lot of people who are gonna have 0 interest in this. It's fine, that's fine. I'm trying to weed out the ones who do. All right, the second one is that they don't have any money, okay? That's not an issue. Understand that this dollar figure thing, that's the reason they're not buying is not because of it's discretionary, right? Everybody has money to spend on different things. We choose how to spend that money. Some people just flat out don't have the money, okay? I'm not really marketing to those people. They're not in my customer avatar, so I'm not real worried about that. But people have discretionary income that they are deciding to spend one way or another. Okay, some people aren't buying the 21-day fix so they can go to Burger King. That's just the truth. Okay, so that's a little bit different than they don't have the money at all. Okay, so that's a money objection. In here, when the objection pops up here, and it's not the I have 0 money objection, it's money as discretionary. When that pops up, you can handle that now. You can handle that now. If they don't have any money, you can't handle that now, and that's not your problem, that's their problem. The 4th reason people are not buying stuff from you is because you have not built any trust with them, okay? What I see over and over and over again that coaches do, not a lot of them on my team, thank you, is they wait until the day something comes out, and then they spam their own page with links. Buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. I know I've never done any of the programs and I don't really care, but here, buy this, buy this, buy this. They're not buying, they might be interested and they might have the money, but you have not built any trust with them. That's why you do this. It builds trust. It gets you past that final element of The third reason that people are not buying from you, you don't have their trust. Okay, the fourth reason is a little bit more complicated, and I think it's very interesting. And it's basically that your prospect, you have their trust, and they believe in the product, but they just don't think it'll work for them. That's container phobia. Okay, that's the one I'm trying to get to right now. Is the guys out there who go, yeah, oh, I'm sure, hey, dude, I trust you. You know, maybe I've coached them through other programs. Hey, I've seen, you know, you coached that Bob Taylor dude to the Beachbody Challenge finals. You have authority with me. Okay, sorry, that's my phone. Boy, I just got all kinds of distractions going today. I'm like the master of no distractions, but I have a bunch today. You know, you've coached other people. I have this authority with them, so they know me, they trust me. I've probably given them a bunch of stuff, but they're saying to themselves, hey, you know what? I have container phobia. I don't think that this program's for me. You know, I know it works. I've seen all the testimonials. I've even seen some testimonials from dudes, but it's just not for me. I don't like the containers. You know, the containers aren't going to work for me. That's the one I'm trying to get past. Okay, I'm looking for people who are interested in my product, have the discretionary money to spend, and are trying to decide whether they want to buy this or go do something else with that money. The people who I have trust with, and the people who maybe don't believe that this thing can work for them, and I'm going to show them it can. That's my pre-play launch. Boom. How did I come up with this? I filmed this call on December 9th where I went through this and I had to learn all this stuff. And after I got off the call, I thought, well, what the heck am I going to go do? And I came up with container phobia. What are you going to do? What is your pre-marketing going to look like? How are you going to tell this story? What's the story? What's the story you're going to tell? Okay, container phobia, what's great about it? It's super playful. Super playful. Because I can just be funny and stupid with it. Right? And it's just me playing with all these people who are in my target audience. That's it. It's just fun. And it's a fun little thing, and you know, it's kind of tongue-in-cheek. And like Monica bought me, for Christmas, she got me some, I don't know if you saw the video today, but they're just like black measuring cups. Man cups, you know? And so I get to have fun with it and be like, whoa, I guess, you know, I guess I don't get to use the lavender one. Now I've got the Manzy black one, right? It's just a super little playful thing that is getting people to interact with me. I'm also getting some good feedback. You know, I'm learning what the top objections are that people have to the 21-day fix. Not surprisingly, it's this one, because that's who my avatar is, me, and I know myself pretty well, and I have container phobia, and so a lot of other people are going to do the same. I haven't done this survey thing yet, and I'm really kind of interested. I'm going to try and do some stuff with email marketing as well. I should say I'm also doing a lot of this via email marketing, and I will get into that another time. But it just has this story to it that is kind of funny and kind of creative. So what I want you guys to do is really go back. If you haven't listened to that December 9th call, I want you to listen to that. If you haven't done the customer avatar yet, you've got to just do that, okay? And, you know, I would just recommend, you know, do the whole thing if you can, but even if you don't want to get into some of the more detailed questions, just the act of writing out who your ideal customer is as far as, you know, sex, age, race, religion, activities, TV shows they like, you know, all of that stuff will help you better define what do they need, okay? What my ideal avatar wants is to get in really good shape, to lose weight, be healthy, get in shape, especially, you know, for outdoor activities. And what they need is the containers, okay? Because I know this works. Okay, that's the one thing I should say here is that it is playful because I'm really joking. Because I know the containers work. I have no question about that. I've seen way too many stories of people who've had great results with them, including some people that I know personally really, really well. So that's the pre-marketing, or pre-launch rather. I'm going to talk really quickly about pre-launch, and then we'll get into it on another call. So I'm going to think, do I want to erase this? Yeah, I'll get into it just really quickly. What we're going to do with the pre-launch, again, about 10 days before this comes out, and we're going to create a 3-act play, okay? Basically, that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a 3-act play is kind of the way to think of it. Those things, obviously, it's 10 days. So they're gonna, build on each other pretty quickly. And just to give you like a little bit of what that looks like. The first act is why, okay? Why would you do the 21-day fix extreme? Okay, so you're gonna need to think about this. I suggest you layer in all of this stuff into the 3-act play that you're gonna come up with. Act 1 is why they should care. And, I'll get into that on another call about, what that's all about. Act 2 is what. So we start with why. Remember, we always start with why. If you've seen that Simon Sinek video where he talks about the importance of why, it's fantastic. But we always start with why, then we get into what, and then finally we get into how. Okay, and how, so it's really, that's kind of the big picture of the 3-act play that I want you guys to be thinking about how you're gonna present. And again, I'll cover it on the team call on the 13th, January 13th will be the day that I go over this stuff. I want you to think about those 3 things. Why, what, and how. So I'm starting to think about how container phobia fits into the why you would do this program, or why you would pick me to coach you through this program, right? Which is gonna have something to do with guys. I can already tell it's gonna be, there's gonna be a guys only kind of a group that I'll do. That we're all gonna do this program and it's just gonna be the guys, okay? And so that will help probably get over some of these other objections that people have. I don't know, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it talks about why. Why me? Why this program? Why me? Okay? What is pretty obvious. What is 21-Day Fix Extreme? It's just an opportunity to tell that story of what this program is. During that process, I'll be able to use a lot of the container phobia stuff where I have cured my own container phobia to come back and say, here's the what. Okay, it's this program, and we've cured container phobia, something like that. I don't know. Well, I'll figure it out later. And then the last one is how. How is super simple. I mean, how is we're going to have a group. You're going to get in the group. You're going to buy your program. You're going to buy your challenge pack, and you're going to do this. If I do this correctly, it should be a huge thing. I should have a huge group of people, a lot of them guys. Those are the ones that I'll be working with. Monica will be working with the ladies, and she's already doing that. She's got such a great 21-Day Fix base. It's crazy. It's probably our #1 product right now, which is why I want to do the extreme one, because I want to be able to capitalize on a lot of that stuff. So that's pre-launch, If you haven't started yet, and you didn't start on the 10th when I told you to, start now. Start now. You have time to play with all this stuff. I don't know if container phobia is your thing. I don't know if the 21-Day Fix is your thing. Let's say it's not. And instead, what you want to do is you want to organize an Insanity Max 30 group that's going to start in February. You can do all this now. A lot of this is stuff we do on an ongoing basis. It's not targeted at a specific product. It's just part of our marketing. This is all of what we're doing in our marketing is designed to do a lot of this stuff. This gets more specific, this section up here, because we have different offers and we're going to have a little different story that we're going to tell about each different offer. But this stuff down here, these mental triggers that I talked about on that call, this is stuff we do every single day. Every single day we establish authority and go through and work on the rest of these. Anticipation is probably the one we don't do every single day, and scarcity too. But a lot of these other ones, community is a huge one for us. We work on this on an ongoing basis, and so it's all pre-launch. It's all pre-launch. So when stuff comes out, even if I haven't done a whole lot of work to chum the water, which I didn't for Max 30, that's okay, because I still have these mental triggers. I still have this reciprocity and trust with people that gets them past a lot of their own objections, But this one I think is a little more of a challenge to me, because I think this product has been really well received by women and not as well received by guys. Not that it hasn't worked for guys, believe me, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's who I'm targeting. It's a little bit of a challenge, and it's kind of fun for me to do this stuff. I hope that marketing is something that you enjoy, and sorry about the phone notice, is something you enjoy and that you can have fun with. That's the thing. I think, when you're kind of picking what your, whatever your pre-launch is going to be and the concept for it, make it something that's fun. Even if fun is not your thing. Like, I'm not the super fun guy. but I created something that is a little bit of fun that I'm kind of playing with and having fun with. And that makes all this really easy. You know, it all fits into place, and it's just kind of comical to me the way it lays out. And the fact that I now have people who are trying to get me to do the 21-day fix. It's like, what more could I possibly ask for? So to me, that's a lot of fun. This is kind of the nuts and bolts of it. That's what I'm doing. Please don't copy it. Okay, please don't copy what I'm doing. Okay, not because I'm trying to, you know, be the only guy doing this. It's because it's not gonna be authentic to you. It's gotta be authentic to you. It's gotta come from you, your brand, to your customer. Okay, so work on those things. Have some fun with it. I hope you guys are doing well. For those of you who are wondering, I am feeling much better today. I have been in a coma the last few days. So today, I did Dirty 30 today. So I worked out today, which was awesome, and I am feeling much better. Thank you so much for all of your kind words, and I will talk to you on the 13th. Next team call is the 13th. Next week, I am in Canada, and I'm not doing a team call from Canada because I will be busy in the snow. All right, guys, take care. Talk to you next time.